Today is a special day. The channel Quadcopterguide surpassed 10,000 subscribers. We're going to take a look at the best of on the channel so far, and also I'm giving away a quadcopter, so stick around. You know, when you set out on this journey to start a YouTube channel, you of course see the big guys and girls with their millions of subscribers, and you hope one day that you would reach some kind of a success that you kind of define. Of course, 100,000 subscribers is a huge, huge milestone, but on the way to there is another one, and that's 10,000 subscribers. They say that the first 10,000 is the hardest, and I hope it gets easier from here. It's been a journey for sure. I still can't believe it. I woke up the other day, checked my phone. I knew it was getting close, so guess what I did every morning and every night before going to bed? Launched the YouTube Studio Creator app, which you have access to if you have a channel. And on there it shows you the live kind of status of the subscribers. And one morning it went over that magical 10,000. 10,000 people care enough about the content that I create. To those 10,000 of you that took that step, I know it's not a big deal. You just hit the subscribe button and you get notifications and stuff like that. But as a creator, as somebody that sits down and makes these videos and stares at the footage for a couple hours too long every time because they want to make it better for those of you guys out there watching, and of course want to grow their audience, just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for interacting with me in the comments. I try to get back to everyone. It's going to get more difficult as time goes on, but I'm still doing pretty good at it. Thank you for checking out the products that I review and the links in the description. I don't know if many of you guys know, but that's part of the way that I finance this very expensive hobby of quadcopters and drones. Without that, I wouldn't be here being able to test all these quads and drones for you guys. Sure, I've gotten lucky. I've received a few early on for review from DJI, for example, and I'm also very grateful for that. I hope that trend continues. Of course, when you first start out, I don't know how you would be in this situation, but I still have a deathly fear of public speaking. And I don't know, but talking into this camera lens right here, I know that thousands of people are going to watch this, and if I'm lucky, and it's essentially public speaking, right? Lange Rede, kurzer Sinn is a saying in German. It means long talk, but the essence of it is very short and simple. At the beginning, I was, of course, at the beginning of my journey of making videos, I was awkward. I sounded not as good just because I was still learning. But hey, I started. So as we look back at some of these clips, you know, don't judge. I'll try to keep the talking bits to a minimum. But there are some pretty cool intros that I made for some of these videos. So that's one of the main things I want to show you guys, kind of tease some of these videos for you guys. And also important to note that if you're interested in checking out any of these full videos, maybe you think, hey, you know what, that topic is really interesting, I want to check that out later. I've got a playlist with all the videos, and of course I'm going to link those in a card up here in the corner. I'll share that at the end, and also the videos and the playlist is linked in the video description, of course, down below, so be sure to check that out. I think I signed up for the YouTube account in 2014, but in 2015 I created my first couple videos, and my third video, I just kind of got lucky. I took my Phantom 3 Pro at the time out with me. I think I had both dogs with me as well. I just kind of drove south of Munich. There's beautiful fields and you can see the Alps really clearly sometimes. And I saw a kind of a field or a pasture with some fog, and I thought, wow, that looks pretty cool. It was close to sunset, and I figured, you know what, let's see what I can capture. I mean, check out some of these shots. And you know, back then there was no point of interest where you could fly over or select the shed here and have it do the most perfect circle. This was an attitude mode, I believe, and I flew this manually. So all these movements you see here are me at the sticks, of course, with no kind of automatic mode or autonomous mode. So that's pretty cool. That was my first kind of cinematic video I made, so feel free to check that one out. Now in 2016, I got a chance to do a European cruise, and I thought, hey, what better place to review the Osmo Mobile, that's the smartphone gimbal of course, than visiting some of these various cities in Europe. And in the video you get to see a younger version of the golden retriever that sometimes makes her way into the videos. Look at her here, how sweet. And this part here actually worked out that her steps, or the tempo in her steps, matched up perfectly to the beat of the music. So I just had to make those match up, and that was pretty cool. Check out some of the scenery there if you care to see that. There's Pompeii actually here on the top right. And of course, you see the Colosseum in Rome here, and just a couple of cool sites. So feel free to check that one out. Fast forward to 2018, DJI reached out and asked if I wanted to be part of something special. And I said, yes, please. I didn't know what it was. It turned out to be an early review unit of the DJI Mavic 2 Pro. As you can imagine, a small channel, very excited to get the opportunity. And they sent me a Mavic 2 Pro early to review and test for you guys. Still not very comfortable in front of the camera, as you will see in that video if you watch it, but I sure did my darndest and my best to get some great footage and great review material for you guys. Here's the short cinematic intro of that video. The Mavic 2 Pro, of course, revolutionized the compact foldable drone class or quadcopter class. If you want to check out my full review of that, it's still pretty interesting, I think. And once again, don't mind my early filming style. Check that out also in the playlist down below. Interesting tidbit, October of that year, after the Mavic 2 Pro review, which got the most views in the shortest amount of time so far on the channel at that point, I had 654 subscribers. Now, if you're one of those 654 and you remember watching that Mavic 2 Pro video, or maybe that's how you came across my channel and you subscribed, take a hand and pat yourself on the back. You guys have been around the longest, and a special thank you to you guys for being here. Also that year, I did an extremely in-depth look at ND filters and why they are important. I even compared the original DJI ones with some freewheel filters. If you want to learn the most you can about ND filters in a shortest amount of time, I invite you to check out that video. I also go over why certain f-stops on the Mavic 2 Pro, for example, is the sharpest, and what you need to consider when shooting video. One thing you need to remember when shooting video is the 180-degree shutter rule, and I explain that in great detail in this video. So if that is something that you're interested in or don't know exactly how that works, then I invite you to check that out. 2019, the DJI Smart Controller came out, and of course I reviewed that for you guys. Feel free to check that one out. Here's the intro sequence from that one. Today, our DJI Smart Controller review, the pros and cons, and also some things you might not know about this thing. Coming right up. And in that video, I kind of go over why the Smart Controller is the only remote I fly my Mavic 2 Pro with anymore. I haven't opened up the old remote since that point. In that video, I even do a kind of a race to see how quickly you can get into the air with the Smart Controller and compare that to the old school remote with the smartphone and jangling around with the phone at the bottom of the remote. So that's kind of interesting. Feel free to check that one out. Two other videos which are pretty useful, not as sexy, but very useful, are the Mavic 2 accessories video, quite successful, which I'm happy about. I go over my top 10 accessories for the Mavic 2 Pro. Some things which are kind of, okay, yeah, I understand that, and some things that are not normally recommended. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check that out. And of course the battery video, it says Mavic 2 Pro on the title, but the tips in there are kind of relatable to every DJI drone really, or any drone that uses lithium powered batteries, either lithium polymer or even lithium ion. So if you don't know a lot about lithium polymer technology and why it's so great, but why you also have to be quite careful with it, then I invite you to check that one out. Very useful content in there. We can't mention the Mavic 2 Pro videos without, of course, wrapping it up with the sharpest settings video, which has a pretty cool intro, which you can see here. And of course the cinematic settings video. That one I made another kind of cinematic intro, and I had my special guest there with me. Check out some of those shots here. If you want to learn how to get the most out of your Mavic 2 Pro, then I invite you to check out those videos for sure. And let's move on. Also last year, we had, of course, the Osmo Action leak and the successive release of the Osmo Action. And once again, I tested that for you guys, and I even compared it to the GoPro Hero 7. And on that video, I got to experience my first Tesla drive. I got a chance to drive a Tesla Model S on the German Autobahn. So if you're interested in that video, you can also check that one out. After that, DJI teased us with a camera rover, which I was getting relatively excited about. It turned out to be the RoboMaster S1. Not exactly what I envisioned, or maybe not exactly what I wanted, but still kind of interesting. I covered the leaks of that and then, of course, the release. Maybe one day we still will get our little camera rover from DJI. I think that'd be pretty cool. That summer I got to hang out with Kelly and his family from Ready, Set, Drone, another drone channel that you might have seen. Quite large. He's got over 130 or 140,000 subscribers now. He's in the big leagues, that guy. Anyhow, I got to do a couple videos with him and fly some drones, so we had a good time. It was just a pleasure to hang out with someone else that has a YouTube channel. It was actually my first time to do that, and he's a great guy. So if you haven't seen his channel, then of course that is one that you have to check out. Next, the Mavic Mini leaks hit, of course, and it was the first DJI drone with cylindrical battery cells. I thought that was pretty exciting, and of course it pointed towards the lithium-ion batteries, specifically the 18650 cells, which I had accurately, I might say, predicted from the leaks. But anyhow, I did a bunch of review videos after the release. You can also check those out if you'd like to. After the Mavic Mini, it was of course time for another drone after some time. And that drone was the Mavic Air 2. I once again got the opportunity to test it early and review it for you guys. And my Mavic Air 2 review It resonated with a lot of you, a lot of great comments, a lot of great interaction. It was another doozy. That was a big video for me. Just the amount of hours I put into it, the late nights, and it seemed to pay off. A lot of you guys joined the channel at that point, and also, once again, the comments you guys left really were great. It paid off, made all that work worth it. So let's give away a quadcopter, shall we? The last giveaway, which was of course the first drone giveaway on the channel, I got a chance to give away a Mavic Mini. DJI supplied that drone, and I'm very grateful for them for doing so. And the entries were limited to the United States and Canada. I figured, let's do something for the people in the EU, the European Union, where I'm actually located right now, as well as many of you know. I'm filming in Bavaria, Germany. And so this is a drone that I bought with my own money. I wanted to make a video about it, but it just slid down on the priority list, and by now it's too late to do that, really. So I figured, why not give it away? It's also a very compact drone or quadcopter. It's the DJI or Rise Tello. This thing is quite a bit of fun, actually. Don't knock on it. It has a camera. It comes with 3 batteries, so I'll send you guys 3 batteries and the multi-charger. You fly it with your phone, your smartphone or tablet, and you know what? When it's crappy weather outside or when it's winter, this thing is quite a bit of fun. I can count the number of flights I've had with this thing on one hand, so you guys are getting essentially a brand new drone or quadcopter. And yeah, you know, let's celebrate the 10,000 subscribers. Thank you for being here. And how can you win? Well, if you like to be notified of future great content on the channel or future giveaways, then of course I invite you to subscribe to the channel and be sure to turn on that bell notification. Also, those of you guys that are subscribed and don't have the bell marked to full, then you are missing out on potential opportunities to win and other great content that I produce for you guys. Besides that, let me know in the comments down below where you're located and what you would use the DJI Tello for. Would you mess with your siblings or people you live with or your partner? Would you tease your animals? Please don't do that. But what would you use this little guy for? And would you dare to fly it outside? In non-gusty conditions, I think this thing does relatively well outside. So let me know what you'd use it for and leave a comment down below. I will select a winner in the coming weeks. Maybe it's time for another live stream. I really enjoyed the last one, and I think you guys did as well. So let's announce the winner on the live stream. I'll get everything set up here in the new studio for that. And yeah, be sure to stay tuned. I have a feeling I'm going to do a lot more live streams. I really did enjoy that. I'm still waiting on a couple of gadgets for that. With this current worldly pandemic, everybody has been buying up technology stuff like crazy. So many things are out of stock. It's nuts. Anyhow, the winner will be announced in the live stream. So good luck to you, and I can't wait to have you enter. So once again, to those of you that are among the 10,000, and also those of you guys that are just watching this and maybe you're not a subscriber yet, thank you for being here. Just you watching the video, you leaving a like, you commenting every time in the video when a new video comes out, it helps. Stay tuned for some great content coming on the channel. Things are going to get exciting. It's going to get even better. We're going to enter a new chapter on Quadcopterguide, and you guys will be there with me along the whole way. So get excited for those notifications, get excited for future videos. It'll be great. Let me know down below if you are interested in more live content from me. What would you like me to cover? I have a feeling we're going to have a FPV kind of segment, if you will, or a couple of videos coming up in the future. I've been saving up to do that. It's been too long, so we're going to do it. The Mavic Air 2 launch is now over, and yeah, get ready for that. So if you were into nerdy kind of stuff, if you enjoy new technology, if you just enjoy quadcopters in general, it's going to be great. So thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, stay safe, be healthy, and in the meantime, check out some of this other great stuff here I've done. This one is the latest, but this one right here, that's pretty good too. Check that one out. Thanks, guys.